Good morning, everybody. Have you ever seen anybody haul plumbing on top of a Hummer? Well, now you have. As you can tell, probably by looking at this, I've got a pretty big plumbing job ahead of me. I've got to redo all the plumbing in my house. There's 140 foot of 3/4 inch PVC there. Now, usually I would go copper, but I decided to do PVC. One, it's not quite as expensive as copper, and two, it's kind of a little bit easier to work with sometimes. And if I got to bend it around corners to get it in places and whatever, it's just a little easier to work with. Well, that's what I'm going to do. The hard freezes that we've had this year have really wreaked havoc on my plumbing. My plumbing is in a crawl space under my house, and some stray cats came around and decided they wanted to pull the insulation down and make a little nest out of it. Well, that of course froze and split and busted several places. I think there's 6 places where the lines broke underneath the house, and every winter I've got to deal with something. So I'm going to redo the whole thing, and I'm going to bring it up in the house so that I won't have to deal with that, hopefully, ever again, except for where the water comes into the house. Of course, there's nothing really I can do about that other than insulate it and block it off permanently so the stray little critters can't get in it. But this is going to be quite a job. It's going to take a few days to do it. Oh, yeah, and I found this 550 cord in there. That's actually not mine. I borrowed that from a buddy. He gave me some lumber, and he just lived right up the road here, and I tied it on there just like the pipe's tied on there. And I've been meaning to give that back. I'm glad I had that in there, though. Anyway, that's where we're starting today. Okay, so I got the plumbing pretty much wrapped up, except for going into the bathroom where I'm going to make my connections and decide actually how I'm going to route everything. So I guess it's not anywhere near being wrapped up. But if you can see through that hole where all the sawdust and everything still is, the green is the bathroom wall. But right there's a big screw sticking down. There were 2 other ones. There's all sawdust and everything up there. There were 2 other ones up there that I was able to get out. This one is giving me some fits here. What's this stuff? Yeah, this piece broke here. I'm actually, like, there's my roof, or my ceiling, with all the cobwebs. Look at that. Neat. So I gotta manipulate of that little screw right there. And those holes are 1-inch holes. I'm using 3/4 inch PVC, of course, so I drill my holes at 1 inch and it will be a snug fit. 3 screws I hit going through there. Now, that's wonderful. Okay, so I got it out. And this is why it didn't want to come out. It was bent, and I couldn't back it out. I could wiggle it loose, but it just would not come out. And it was so much longer than... This is another one that was in there that I was able to pull out. And there was a third one. I have no idea what the third one is. But yep, I'm trying to turn this doggone thing. Yeah, and of course they got the stupid Robinson heads on them. Wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't have been able to get a screwdriver on it anyway. So, okay, it's out. Time for plumbing. Okay, so I made this one joint right here. That was a pain in the ass, but I got it. Now this next one is even going to be worse because there's not enough room really for me to get a hold of this piece of pipe to hold it into the coupling. So I'm going to put the coupling on this piece down here first and let it cure. That way I'll have something to grab a hold of when I'm pushing it onto this very staticky piece of pipe, which is kind of a pain in the butt because that means I have to clean it. And it's actually propped up on another little chunk of pipe here, just so I can work on that back one. Went on kind of okay, and it's there's a T on the other side of both of these little nipples here, and I have to make sure that they're plumb or level, I guess, so that when the riser comes into it, that they'll be hooking in there good. So I guess I'm going to try that now. Okay, everybody, so it's sort of looking pretty good, except that I'm out of pipe now. Can you believe it? I didn't have enough fittings the last time that I uploaded. Now I don't have enough pipe. Everything is in there, and this insulation right here, and this crap over here. This is where the water heater used to be. It's not there anymore. I have a nice, very, very nice water heater here. And what is my temperature? Yeah, 120. There's 120 degrees in there. And you can see those valves are open. So I have hot water and cold water running nowhere, really. Those two drops right there with the caps on them, right there and right there, that's going to go to the kitchen sink whenever I get more pipe. Now this is quite a assembly up here, and of course it runs over, and there was a cabinet here, and this is before I got the place. Now the cold water line, the feed line, runs way up over here, and a 45 to 45 down to here, and this will be sucked back in there. But can you see that? Made in America. There's an American flag right there on that piping. That is right, folks. That is right. Now my washer and dryer currently sit on the other side of this wall, where the weird little 1970s looking flowers are. There's marks up there, and then there will be marks over here for the drops to feed that. But for now, this big old weird looking assembly here is what we got going on. And if you see the yellowy looking pipe, that was the old supply line, and it's let me see if I can get over there. There's junk in this room. Yeah, it's snapped off. This whole insulation thing is no longer hooked up. Nothing is hooked up here. This is all on the new system that I put in here. Now, looking forward to having this critter running. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see this, but this is the old supply line from the bladder that is all crappy and moldy looking. This is where I tied into it, and it looks slightly... okay, no, there's the heat tape, and that white splattery stuff is like oxidation. It kind of looks like mold, but it's not. It just looks that way. And that black cord right there is actually heat tape, and I noticed right there that is a 1/4 inch into 1 inch that is deteriorated very, very badly, and that is the pressure sensor for the switch to run the well. Now, so that's something that I'm going to have to deal with. Anyway, up and out, all new PVC. So I ended up having to remove the ceiling. As you can see, the hole beat up there, and this little furring strip right here, and there's one here. I think in the background you can probably hear the radio, of course. And there's one there, and one there, and one there. But anyway, this is what the ceiling used to look like neat little tiles and stuff. Well, whatever. Had to do this. Run out of pipe, so my cold line is on the inside, and my hot line is on the outside. Now I've got my hot line. Let me kill this radio. Okay, as I was saying, the cold line is on the inside, and that's just running right here. And the only reason that runs that way is just because I'm out of pipe, and I had to put a valve on it so that I could turn the water on. The hot line is up here, and the hot line is active when you come around here. And I do have a spillover into my shower, where my shower is. And like I said, I did have to rip all the ceiling tile out of here. There's a screw right there to show you that. But at least I have hot water now in the shower. Now I can't take a shower under it because it will be 120 degrees, and that would suck to do that. But at least I have access to hot water in my shower. Okay, so there's plumbing in here, and you can see there is a huge mess from all the drilling and trash, and there's a weird scrub brush thing. Whatever, nobody cares. That is not mold, that is just sawdust from where I had to drill through to come in. Like I said, running out of pipe, I had to cap off the hot side, and it's holding good, and I'm very happy with that. At least we have cold water supply to the bathroom sink back here, and it's working for now. Yeah, tomorrow hopefully I'll be able to snip this guy back around here or something and run up. Now this is where the old lines came in, and I did do this back, let's say 10 years ago, and I never did come back and cut the foam off. I think you can see over here, yeah, there's the other one, and there's one of the supply lines from the tie-up in the back. So anyway, there's that. These guys they're nothing there now. All that has been eliminated. So that's an update for today. Oh yeah, we do have, let's see, can we get over here? Yeah, we got the toilet hooked up too, with the old supply line that come out of the hole. The toilet is working, and I can flush it. Come here. I think you can hear that. Let's see. Wait for it. Oh, it's not going to do the gurgle. I didn't hold it down long enough. Anyway, the toilet works. So, good stuff. Hey everybody, I'm in my vehicle here, getting ready to go to the store, and notice that. Big old sheet of ice. Kinda cool. Of course the windshield still froze. I wonder if this window will do it. Yeah, it's doing it too. You see it? Pretty cool. It's 31, so it must be warmer than 31 to make all the stuff melt. Yeah, there's like a 1/4 inch of ice on everything. Kinda cool. Okay folks, so yeah, this looks dumb. All the plumbing is done, and I took myself a nice shower. When I got out of the shower, this is the cold water. Turn on. Look. You see that? There was a drip. There was a drip. There's one. Yes, fun stuff. Awesome. Look up there. There we go. There's a good old drip. Right there. That's fun. That's awesome. It's actually not a gate valve. It's a globe valve. But that's all they had. And, yeah. Fun stuff. Love this. Tightened this down. Didn't work. Loosened it and tightened it again. Didn't matter. Whoops. Sorry. You can't see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Whole bunch of crap. Awesome. Yeah. Good stuff right there. Hey, folks. Well, it's evening here. Looking out the window, and there's still ice everywhere. I think you can see that there. That's the street light down there. This big old maple tree up here has got him some cool little reflectix up. Looks like a weird spider web thing or something. And we can look way over at the neighbor's place there, if I can hold the camera. It's sort of the same thing. Really cool. Looks like a scattered lens. Pretty cool stuff. Everything is still icy. Oh, oops. Ooh, wrong button. There we go. Look at my trash cans down there. Everything is still icy and crappy and yucky. I don't know if the bottom of that branch right there, if I can focus in on it. There we go. No, but yeah, I think you can see the icicles hanging off of it. Pretty neat stuff. The power lines are still covered in ice. We did lose power here. Long story on that, which I'll get into sometime. Yeah, it's pretty neat though. Really beautiful. That looks pretty cool, don't it? All that ice. It's absolutely amazing. Sit there forever and watch it. But it's warming up and everything's starting to drip off. So probably won't last much longer. Morning, folks. Nice morning to get out and walk around a little bit. It's kind of warm. I think it's around almost 50 degrees right now. That means what remaining snow there is will be gone. So I decided to come out and see what I can see. It's been quite a while since I've actually been in the woods and doing anything. Working on that doggone plumbing, and I think I finally got her finished up. I'll put all that together and upload a video for you guys to see on that. I found something kind of cool here. I was tracking what appeared to be mink tracks, and it is. And they go down in this hole down in there, and I thought, well, maybe it's not a mink. Minks usually go to the water. Well, I come over here. There's his back door. He comes out there and runs on down to the right to the creek. And he's probably got another hole back that way over in there. I haven't been that way yet, but kind of neat to see. Kind of fun stuff. Before long we'll be complaining about the humidity and hating on mosquitoes. That day ain't today. Every now and then we get beaver come through here and clog up the creek. You can see that's been a while since that guy's been chewed. Beaver stumps. Used to be 100 of them. There's another one over there. They're all old. I haven't seen any beaver sign for a while. Like this anyway, of this size. Every now and then you'll see a stick floating down the creek that's skinned. You know, there's still some activity, but they ain't ventured up into the woods yet. Kind of hard to sneak up here. All the birds just went crazy as soon as I come around the turn. Well, it's really nice out. It really feels good to get out and do some stuff here. This is always a pretty cool spot because you can see really far. You see animals moving around or just watch wind blow or whatever. Pretty cool stuff. I figure as soon as I start filming, all the birds shut up. Here's a nice place to be this early morning. We'll do a slow turn here. Out in the middle of nowhere. Well, not really nowhere, but out in the deep here. Pretty nice. Relatively quiet except for some road noise you hear off in the distance there. I'm out kind of looking for deer sheds. Not that I'll find any, and just looking at the ground there, if you know what a deer shed is, antler, they blend in real well. Seeing a lot of deer sign, but I'm not really looking for the deer. I'm looking for what they left behind. Now, keep on moving. Anybody interested in some free traps? About $200 worth, $250, $300, something like that. Down there in the middle of this big corner where the creek flows to the west and it makes a hard turn to the south right here. Well, where it swirls in there, it's a big old deep hole. One trapping season, probably 15 years ago, I tried to cross the ice here. I made it about a quarter of the way out there and fell through. Thankfully, I was able to get back up through the ice, and I ended up dropping my trap bag. As far as I know, it's still down there at the bottom. I never did touch bottom there when I went through. Of course, if I did, I wasn't paying attention. I was more interested in getting back up to the air. That was not such a good time. But it's kind of nice to stand here and look at it now. It's really chewing the bank out over there. When the big floods come through, they swirl a whole bunch of water right there, and it always digs at it. Yeah. And them birds are still yelling at me. I don't know if I can catch him on here or not. Still haven't found any antlers. Think I'm about ready to give up and head back to the house, make a hot cup of coffee. I can't find that hawk. Anyway. Well, the garden certainly looks different this time of year, don't it? aside from the water laying in it. Last year, those of you that don't follow along, we had that big flood. I killed just about everything that I had in there. I was able to get a few squash out, but don't know if I'm going to do it again this year or not. I may. And if I decide to do that, I don't know if I'm going to put it right here. I do have some other little places that I could probably put a little garden. A lot of work for very little reward towards the end. I can't tell you how many hours I spent down here pulling weeds and working the dirt, and to have the flood come and take probably 80% of it. And that was pretty frustrating. Oh well, you live, you learn, I guess.